Ladies and gentlemen, so I went from being a fitness coach who was selling, programs, meal plans, all that sort of stuff, making around roughly 7K a month doing that, to a high ticket transformation coach, still a fitness coach, but a transformation coach, and I was able to scale to about 50K a month. Okay? So if you're a fitness coach, if you're a gym owner, I don't care if you're online or if you're in person, pretty much in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to, pretty much go from just a normal fitness coach, which is very highly commoditized, to a transformation coach and make 10 times the amount you were making before. Okay? Like I said, I implemented the same strategy in my coaching business, went from 7K to about 15K a week, roughly. And right here, I'm going to show you exactly how to do the same for yourself. Okay? I'm also going to run you guys through one of my clients named Paul, who implemented this in his fitness coaching business. He went from a commoditized fitness coach offer, which is the same thing as everyone else, providing the same, service as everyone else, expecting different results, okay, to somebody who is selling transformations for high ticket, and he was able to make 10 times, 15 times more than before, okay? Cool. So what is the old model? Okay, so I talk about, what's wrong with, just being a fitness coach? What's wrong with just doing that? Okay, the reason is because you are selling a commodity. It's as simple as that. What is a commodity, for example? A commodity is something that is consistent across the board in so many different variables, like skill, like the quality of the service, like the quality of the product, or what the product is. If those variables are all constant, the only other thing to compete on will be price, okay? And pretty much whoever then can provide it for the cheapest will win. So for example, let's say, you're wanting to get gold, you're wanting to buy gold. I don't really care if you buy gold from the Argentinian market or the Chinese market or from the US market. It doesn't matter. If you can get gold for cheaper, you're going to get it for cheaper, because at the end of the day, gold is gold. Those other variables are constant. Okay. And right now what we're seeing this exact thing happening in the fitness space. Okay. You have people providing a service that is the same across the board. Okay. You have people providing a service that they're like, oh, I have this small difference, and but I'm different here, I'm different there. But if you actually break it down to what they're providing, it's very heavily commoditized. Okay. What does that commoditization look like? Some sort of exchange of time for money. Okay. People try to disagree and they're like, oh, I do this, I do this, I do this. At the end of the day, a lot of it is trading time for money. Even if you're selling calls with yourself, that is commoditized. Okay. Even if you are, getting on a Zoom call and running them through how to actually do things, that is commoditized. Okay. If you're working out with someone one-to-one, like a personal trainer in person, that is also commoditized. You are trading time for money. And most of the time, whoever can provide that money or that time for the cheapest is going to win. Okay. Next is any sort of one-to-one service that is heavily commoditized, or a duplicatable product / service, which is going to be some sort of like fitness program, meal plan, workout plan. All of this is very heavily commoditized. Okay. And the reason why all of this stuff is so heavily commoditized is because everyone does it. So the barrier to entry on these are super low, and everyone that comes into this market, they all do this. So there's no differentiation really. Okay. And what happens is now you have all these people selling the same things. Okay. Variables are constant. Now who can provide that for the cheapest? That person's going to win. Okay. And pretty much what happens is when you're selling a commodity, there's this cycle that happens, and this cycle is inevitable. You can't escape the cycle. Okay. Because pretty much what happens is, number one, you list your product or service competitively. So like competitively, which is pretty much somewhere in between the most expensive and the cheapest. You're like, oh, I'm not going to go so expensive, but I'm not going to go so cheap. I'm going to stay competitive. You just pick the middle, okay? And then number two, you get customers who pay a price and have a low level of investment emotionally. So because you're competitive, you're not super high ticket, you're going to get customers who pay the price and have a lower level of investment emotionally because they haven't paid that much money, okay? And then number three, you're going to give customers a similar process that is very closely related to other competitors. There's going to be no large difference in deliverables or service. It's going to be the same thing as before. Here's your meal plan. Here's your workout plan. Do this, do that. Okay, it's not going to be that different. And then number 4, customers are going to treat the process similar to the level of investment, and they're going to become more demanding. Okay, so they're going to be like, oh, I didn't invest that much. This is not conscious, this is subconscious, but they're going to be like, oh, I didn't invest that much in this. Therefore, I'm not going to invest that much time and energy and effort into this. Okay, the level of how much someone pays for something is the level of how serious they're going to take that. If I buy a steak that is worth $1,000, I'm going to sit and eat that steak like it is like I'm just going to sit and eat that steak for like an hour, hour and a half. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to take it really slow. And then let's say I go get like a really cheap steak for like $10. I'm just going to eat half of it and throw the rest out. Okay? The steaks could be the same. The steaks could be exactly the same. It doesn't matter. It's the perceived value. Okay? And that's what happens. When people don't pay a lot, their level of investment is low. And then those same customers are the ones that get the most demanding. They get really demanding. Do you ever notice how the cheapest customers are always the most demanding ones? Oh, do this for me. Oh, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. It's like super annoying. Okay? And then number 5, customers churn after 1 to 2 months of service as they aren't seeing any results, which is kind of in a way subjective, because I'm not going to get into results, but they're not seeing any results and they churn because they didn't take it that seriously. They didn't pay that much. Their level of investment is low. And then you're now left with limited cash to invest back into your company as you have a large throughput with high attrition. So a lot of people are churning. People aren't paying that much. So now your profit margins are lower. And then 7, you lose hope and faith in your service and think, why does my business suck? Even though it's not even your fault. And then you eventually quit. Okay? So this is the downward spiral of commoditization that happens all the time in fitness businesses. Okay? You have people doing, this is so common in fitness businesses. You don't even understand. Okay? Pricing competitively. People don't take it that seriously. You have less money now to invest in your company. People are going to churn like crazy. People are going to become so demanding and you're not going to get any results. Okay? If you want to play this game, you can, but it's a low leverage game. Okay? I am not interested in playing this game because it's not the most leveraged game to play. I'm only interested in playing the most leveraged possible game that there is to play and refining that process time and time again. Okay? So what's the new model? Okay? If you're watching this and you're like, oh, I don't want to be this commodity. I don't want to provide the same thing and just compete on price, do the same things everyone else is charging by the hour, giving some sort of duplicatable meal plan. Even forms of accountability have become commoditized. I hate to say it, but accountability has become kind of commoditized, right? Yeah, I'm sure this is starting to make sense. You can kind of see this and understand where the market is, what everyone is doing. Yeah. Okay. So what's the new model? If everyone's doing this commoditized offer, what is the new model? Okay. So pretty much it is to sell a transformation offer. Okay. This transformation offer is going to allow you to make 10 to 15 times more than you're making before and not be stuck in this competition zone. Okay. Because as Peter Thiel says in his book 0 to 1, competition is for losers. Okay? It is for losers. What does he mean by this? Does he mean don't compete? Does he mean don't take business serious? No. What he means by this is if you try to compete and you try to go into markets and compete, you're going to lose. So you have to do something different to get different. Okay? So pretty much what I pretty much formulated is the new model in terms of selling a transformation offer. It pretty much consists of the escape the median type protocol. Pretty much by making a transformation and charging for that transformation using a bell curve model. Okay, so this is a bell curve. Most people, what they do when they price is they come somewhere in the middle, like right here, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to be too expensive. I'm not going to come here. I'm not going to come here. I'm just going to stay comfortable and just charge what everyone else is charging. What I prefer to do is either charge extremely high ticket or extremely low ticket, because that way, either way, when you charge either really high or really low, you are automatically getting out of that commoditized zone. When you charge really high ticket, you're automatically making a new market for yourself. When you charge a really low ticket, you're automatically making a new market for yourself because most people exist right here in the median, okay? So rather than taking the middle, it's going to open up again. Okay. Rather than taking the middle and staying competitive, we are going to either one extreme end of the bell curve, we're charging high ticket or much less than every competitor. When we charge by this transformation, what we are doing is we are disregarding every other competitive advantage, okay? And what we're doing is we're solely focusing in on the transformation they are getting. So this is another big point, okay? Because everyone is like, oh my God, I'm going to give you just a few meal plans, diet plans. I'm going to, sell you a training package with no definitive outcome, but you're just going to come and do it, and maybe you'll get to your goal. We'll talk about your goal, yeah, for sure. I'll run you through your goals. We'll stay reminded, but the entire program isn't built off of that goal. That's the difference, okay? So imagine this. Imagine if you're stuck on Island A, and Island A has no food, and you've been stuck there for over 2 weeks. You are in a high pain. Like, you are stuck there, you're in pain, whatever. On the other hand, your family is on Island B, which is an island with tons of food, water, other people, high quality of life, etc. Okay? Imagine if someone approached you or let's say you approached the man on Island A and you said that you were going to help him get to Island B to see his family, but you will charge him by the hour, or you will give him some things to look at that may be useful. Just, hey, look at these. It may help you, it may not, whatever. Or I'll charge you by the hour. Okay? Or you approach the man on Island A and tell him that you'll be able to get him to Island B, and you'll be able to help. You'll help him there. You'll help him get there for sure for just a one-time price. Okay? The moral of the story is to show that the man on Island A doesn't care how he gets to Island B. He just wants to get there. Okay? And this is what happens. We get so wrapped up in what other people are doing. We get so wrapped up in, oh my God, this guy is charging by the hour, or oh my God, this guy is giving fitness packages away. Everyone's doing this. Why would I do it? Why would I do it different? We get so wrapped up in that, and we just think about that as an absolute truth when it's not. Okay? What we have to do is realize that people don't give a shit how they get to Island B. They just want to get to Island B. Okay? So instead of doing all this stuff of, hey, charging by the hour, or hey, I'm going to give you a meal plan, diet plan, go to the person and just say, hey, I'm going to help you with the transformation as a whole. Okay? And this is one of the most powerful things when it comes to fitness, because people just want the transformation. They don't want to buy a 12-week training package just to go and train. They want an outcome from that. Okay? So therefore, we'll find our people and simply charge them based on the transformation as a whole, and charge them one time. Okay? So not something reoccurring. We're going to charge them upfront once for a high ticket transformation package. This is going to differentiate us and automatically put us in a separate category from others who are trying to help people endlessly. I know you know those people. They're just helping people endlessly forever. Okay? And when we charge on either ends of the bell curve, I say preferably high ticket because I've done it more, we decommoditize instantly. Okay, so we're automatically opening up kind of a blue ocean for ourselves and allowing ourselves to scale more. Okay, so what we're doing with the new model is we are picking one end of the bell curve, and we are basically just charging for the transformation as a whole. Okay, so not, hey, here's a diet plan, meal plan, get my new meal plan book. It's, hey, do you want this transformation? Okay, it's $5,000. Okay. Pretty much what happens when you follow this process, you kind of immediately fall into a cycle. And this is the same cycle that I kind of fell into as well, okay? So number one, you charge based on the transformation as a whole as a high ticket transformation price. So let's say you go high ticket, okay? You get less customers who pay the price but are more committed. So instead of working with 100 people who are not really committed, let's say you have 10 people who are highly committed, okay? Number three, you're able to give customers the needed assets, not information, not an ebook, not a cookbook. You're giving them the stuff they need because you're charging them based on the transformation. So that's all that matters. Okay. Number four, since the customers have paid high ticket, there's a level of investment that is high. So they're super committed, and they're the most committed customers, and they're the least demanding. Okay. Number five, you now have a larger profit margin because you've charged more money to reinvest back into the company and make the process more efficient. Okay? So now you can take this profit that you've gained, this yield, and reinvest it into making, let's say, hiring people, onboarding new talent, okay? Increasing, the efficiency of softwares, etc. Okay. This spiral is not downward, but it's upward. And now, okay, you have a low turn rate with committed customers who are committed, like with a high yield. Okay. That high profit margin is essential. This combination of selling the transformation plus high ticket is the most effective way to win as a fitness coach in 2024. Okay. So when you then take this transformation, okay, and you become uncommoditized and you charge high ticket for that, what happens is that oftentimes isn't really enough. Okay. When you're selling by the transformation and adding case studies that directly correlate to the transformation, you're immediately adding leverage to your transformational claim. Okay. When you add case studies, that is a lot of leverage that you're adding. There's a lot of fuel to the fire that you're adding. Your case studies and proof of concept is directly correlated to how effective you are at getting clients. Okay. So when you have case studies, when you have proof of your transformation, because now you're charging based on the transformation. Now you have to show, hey, I've done this transformation before. Okay. Most fitness coaches cannot switch the transformation model because they have limited access to case studies and therefore have to create a commoditized offer. This is a very unique insight. Okay. A lot of you guys are watching this, maybe you're a fitness coach, you can't do that transformation because you have limited case studies. Okay. So it may be a good idea to stay commoditized and gain some sort of, get case studies from that and then make a switch. Okay. If you have a handful of case studies that prove your transformation as being objectively true, you can easily push this offer. But imagine if I approach the man on Island A and say, hey, I'll be able to get him to Island B. He asks me to show proof, like, hey, have you done this before? I show him that, I've done this 10 times before with others this month. Hey, I've done this 1,000,000 times this month, whatever. He'll be like, oh my God, great, let's do it. Okay. But on the other hand, if I tell him that I haven't done this before, he'll be much more skeptical of the process. Okay? So case studies are directly correlated to your transformation. A lot of the times, like I said here, if you don't have case studies, you have to collect those ASAP. You have to collect those ASAP like your life depends on it. Because now, instead of just saying, hey, I'm going to help you with something that is commoditized, that anyone can help you with, I'm going to hold your hand through a training session. Now you're going to say, hey, I'm going to get you from Island A to Island B. You have to have case studies for that transformation. You don't have to have case studies to show that you can do a process or hold someone's hand through a workout or make a fucking random fitness program that people can just follow. Okay? You see the difference here. Okay? So you need case studies for this. Case studies will amplify the success and validate the proof of concept even working in the first place. Okay? So let's say you make this transformational claim, hey, I'm going to help you get from X to Y. What if you have no proof of concept? Like I said, it's a waste of time. Okay, cool. So one of my clients named Paul, he has a company called Dream Body. He went through this decommoditization process and like 10x, 15x his business. Okay. Pretty much right now, he's pulling in about like, I don't want to name specifics, but he's around 6 figures a month in LTV, so added lifetime value to his business. He charges extremely high ticket, and he went through this entire process. Okay, so I'm going to run you guys through this right here. So pretty much Paul went from a mostly commoditized offer to a high ticket charged by the transformation specialist, mostly for competition. So fitness people who wanting to do fitness competitions. Before, what he was doing, he was charging by the hour. So, hey, I charge $50 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever. He had a very high attrition rate, low valuation. It was kind of hard to collect case studies this way because people weren't getting the best results. Massive time input needed to stay afloat and fulfill, because he had to fulfill those hours. Okay. And then pretty much after, he transitioned to a transformational coach and charged based on the transformation. Okay. So he charged $1,000 minimum, ranging upwards to $6,000. And he created an end date for the process and immediately was able to charge him much more as well. Okay. Because people will pay 10 times more when they understand that there's an end date to something. This was regulated by the fact that the end date was marked by a fitness competition. Okay, so he was helping people for competitions, and the end date was that fitness competition. Okay, so he was able to charge $6,000, $7,000, like even higher than that, for these transformations, for these people to lose 30 pounds and do a competition at the end of that transformation. Okay, And he literally changed his name on Instagram to the Transformation King because that's what he does. He is a transformation specialist. He helps people transform. Okay, he doesn't help people, do a workout. Even though, yeah, he does help people do workouts, but that's not his brand messaging. He is helping you transform. He is helping you go from X to Y. There is a clear, specific end date of when you're going to reach Y. Okay, and therefore he's able to charge much more for that. Okay, and pretty much what he did is he was able to gather case studies, literally like candies. Okay, because he got so many committed customers that were, doing so much work and competitions and, whatever. He would have like a ton of people doing competitions all at once, like 10 to 15 people all competing of his own students at one competition, which is crazy if you know anything about fitness competitions. Okay, I can even just pull up here, like these are all of his case studies. You can scroll here for a while. Like there's tons of case studies. Okay, so what this shows is a level of proof of concept, and these are not just no case studies like ordinary these are amazing case studies. Like look at this one, right? These are next level case studies. So I'm gonna come back here. Pretty much now that he charges based on the transformation with high ticket, now he has pretty much committed clients who don't nag or argue. He placed himself in an entirely different market than other fitness coaches who are charging / programming based on a commodity. So he's in an entirely different market. He's charging way higher. He's not doing the same things as everyone else. Okay. And pretty much right now he's selling $4,000 to $6,000, $5,000 to $6,000 packages monthly and consistently has 2 to 3 appointments daily for people inquiring about the transformation. Okay. And then from that, he has a higher profit yield, more money to invest in marketing and making the system more efficient, more money to invest in equipment, mechanism improvement, etc. Okay. So this is one of the examples of one of my clients who turned his operation around by simply becoming a transformation coach and winning. Okay. I've done this process over 10 times this month with many other clients. So this is just one of the examples of one of my clients who made this shift to a transformation specialist and charged based on the transformation. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're a fitness coach and you're like, oh my God, I'm selling a program, or hey, I'm selling maybe a few Zoom calls with me, or I'm selling one-to-one, or I'm selling whatever I'm selling, you are charging based on the level of access. Okay, that is a quick way to lose. Long term, shift to a transformation claim. I will help you get from X to Y in Z time, okay, and I'm going to charge you this much for it. Okay, do that, collect case studies, and you will absolutely crush. Okay, so I'm looking to, if you're watching this and you're a fitness coach and you're like, oh my God, I want to make the switch. I want to go from a commoditized fitness coach to someone who can charge by the transformation and charge high ticket, but I'm not sure exactly how to go about every single process, all of the things, etc. Totally makes sense. I'm pretty much looking to take on more coaches who want to turn from a commodity to a high ticket transformational specialist. This process works with online coaches, in-person coaches, gym owners, etc. Just like my client here, we were pretty much able to go from, this commoditization offer, hey, I'm going to do the same thing as everyone else and not charge you based on the transformation, to charging you based on the transformation. Hey, you want to lose 30 pounds? Okay, that's going to be $5,000. Hey, you want to lose 50 pounds? Okay, it's going to be this much. Okay? And he was able to make a lot more with more margin. So if you're looking to do something like this and you're looking to get the data to leverage, looking to get everything pretty much done for you, what I can do is, my offer to you is, if you go down, book a call with myself or my team, I can potentially run you guys through the system that I've used to do this over 10 times this month with my clients. And this process works, with all kinds of people in fitness. I work with pretty much everyone in the fitness space. I even have supplement companies that I work with. But pretty much, I hate to see commoditization happen because 99% of the people under the fitness umbrella are commoditized and will forever be in this rat race, forever competing to eventually lose. They'll be forever so worried about hustling, grinding. Oh, I got to get more clients. Oh, people churned. Doesn't matter. I got to get more clients. And they're not even paying attention to the details, because the truth is in the details, okay? And they're just in this cycle, grinding, and they're taking the lessons they learned from fitness of discipline, trying to apply that to their business, which is working, but there's a ceiling to that, okay? So if you're looking to scale a lot higher than where you are right now in fitness, if you're wanting to long-term get to somewhere, where you're making, let's say, 6 figures in lifetime value added to your company every month, or even looking to just make 20, 30,000 a month without, pulling your hair out, then go down, book a call with myself and my team. We'll run you through the process in full. And I hope this was a video that was helpful to you. And I hope this was a video that can show you that you can make a lot of money as a fitness coach. It's just how you position yourself and your offer, okay? You can play the commoditization game. You can play that game and make a little bit of money. But if you want to make a lot of money, this is the best way to do so. Okay, so become a transformational coach. Stop being a commoditized fitness coach, selling the same shit as everyone else. Sell by the transformation and scale to the moon. Thanks for watching.